Konnichiwa, everyone. It's been a bit since I have last checked in, and a lot has happened, such as I have both started a new job and moved, connected in connection with each other. So I no longer live in Nishihin. I'm in Momochi, still Fukuoka area, but now I'm closer to the beach and have a really lovely apartment that I'm getting settled into and just started my new job. And I want to tell you all about that. But probably I'll save that for another post. Today I'm actually going to focus on something really crazy that's happening today, which is Fukuoka is smack dab in the center path of a super typhoon that is going to be coming in late tonight. I, up until this point, have never experienced a typhoon. We caught the fringe edge of one on Wednesday, which was like really windy and really rainy, but nothing too bad. But tonight's is supposed to be, we're, straight in its path, and it's supposed to be a really big one. So I thought it'd be interesting to kind of document my experience through this, because it seems like it's kind of really the talk that everybody's focusing on here. So in case you don't know, typhoons are actually basically the same thing as hurricanes. They're just located in different parts of the world. So hurricanes are in the Atlantic Ocean and near America. Typhoons are in the Pacific, thus they're around here, and they're kind of measured in different ways. The typhoon that's going to be hitting tonight, they also get names just like hurricanes do. So this one's Typhoon Haishen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I've only read about it. But it's going to have wind gusts up to 180 miles per hour, which is really strong. It's almost, if you count it like hurricanes, it's like a Category 5 hurricane. For comparison, Hurricane Katrina that hit New Orleans years ago was measured 125 miles per hour. So this one is huge. And in terms of cyclone categories, it is labeled as a super typhoon. They say, I've been watching meteorologist reports online that it could be the biggest typhoon to hit the area in over a decade. And of course, it's good to prep for the worst and hope for the best. So I'm kind of going through the precautions necessary for a really large scale typhoon here, and thought it'd be interesting to kind of capture this experience for you, and kind of everything that's going along with it. So Fukuoka as a city released its dams yesterday to help alleviate with flooding, and as of today / tomorrow, it's going to be suspending public transportation. The Shinkansen, the bullet train, and local trains are all not going to be running. I'm planning on just staying inside, so this is not going to affect me. But good to know that if I wanted to evacuate from Fukuoka at this point, I can't because I do not have a car. But I think the safest place for me is going to be my apartment here. But I know that in low-lying countryside areas, there has been kind of a recommendation to evacuate. Kumamoto, which is kind of 2 hours away, is expected to get really hardly hit with flooding. So there's some things that are concerning with that. I am, again, 2 blocks from the beach, so that's a little bit nerve-wracking, but this area is not expected to flood, so should be okay. Also, I'm on the 12th floor of my building, so unless my building literally falls over, I should be okay. I'm also still just planning on staying away from my windows in case the wind is so crazy that it shatters the glass or picks something up and hurtles it 12 stories in the air, which if that's the case, I don't know, it's probably apocalyptic, but still just gonna be safe and not stay by the windows. And then I'm also still I've looked up my local evacuation center, so if for some reason we are required to evacuate, I know where to go for that and have know where my important documents like my passport and residence card are if I need to take those with me. So the other things that we are recommended to prep are have, you know, the standards of flashlights, candles, batteries, extra phone charger for when the power goes out. We could be without power for a couple days depending on how bad it is. And my phone obviously is my one form of communication, and if I needed to call for help or something like that. So I've got an extra power battery and I've charged everything up today. We'll plan on probably unplugging my larger electronics in case there's a power surge. In addition, and I'm not really sure of why, but if power and everything goes out, the water will also stop working here. So everybody recommends to fill up my bathtub with water. So I've got, and I'll show you here. So here's my bathroom. I've filled up my bathtub with water to be able to flush the toilet or bathe, or worst case scenario, drink if it really comes down to being stranded in here for weeks on end, which I doubt will happen, but I guess I've got enough water now. And then here I've also got drinking water. So I've got a couple bottles of water filled up, and my kettle I've also filled with water so that I can drink. And then I will probably be closing my curtains, and I've brought in everything from my patio, so nothing left on my patio. These are all the things that I keep outside generally. And you can see, it's really kind of eerie where it's not windy yet. It's been raining all day. Here's my view. Look at those mountains. Definitely cloudy. But kind of surreal because it feels so calm right now, but I know that by this evening it's going to be really, really windy. So this is kind of the calm before the storm. Alright, so it's almost midnight, and it's like a little bit breezy, but pretty calm overall. You can see the skyline behind me, and it's not raining, and it's not really that windy. It's a little bit breezy. Midnight is supposed to be like when the eye of the storm passes over us, so which is supposed to be now. And that's definitely not the case. So I'm not really sure when it's supposed to hit tonight. I'm all ready for bed, so I took a shower, I'm in my pajamas, and I am, I guess just gonna go to bed and see if in the middle of the night it hits. So, it's a little bit breezy. It's definitely getting a lot stronger now. So the wind is really picking up. And it's starting to rain now also. Yeah, it's 2:30 in the morning now, and laying even in bed inside, you can hear you can hear the wind coming in from the window, so it's a pretty eerie sound. So it's now Monday morning, and it's still pretty windy outside, but overall the storm is gone, and I did not get much sleep last night. I'm working from home today, and I probably slept for maybe on and off 4 hours. The wind was incredibly intense overnight, with just this
long howling noise and these huge gusts that would be really loud and kind of rattle the windows. And you could hear the sounds of the wind through the air conditioning vent and even the vent in the stove in the kitchen. So it was kind of an all-encompassing sound. Luckily for us in Fukuoka that I know of, there was no major flooding, at least not here, and we still have power, so I never lost power. So for me, everything's okay. I'm just a little bit tired today, but it was pretty intense there in the early hours of the morning. So I'm really glad that everything's all right over here on my end. And it was really quite an experience. So I think now that they've gone through one of them, maybe hopefully the next time it won't be as nerve-wracking, but I'm really glad I didn't have to do any of my emergency measures. So all in all, good on my end.